Hello, I'm Bob Hanna with Retirement Wealth Strategies. Welcome to our little short video here. It's hard to believe that the stock market's up a little over 50% from that big drop back in March. It's really come back. Hope it continues. We don't know. But no one, including myself, can obviously predict what the market's going to do. I mean, I'd be in Maui right now if I could predict what's going to happen today at 4 o'clock, let alone what's going to happen last quarter, first quarter of 2021. What I wanted to do with this video is talk to you briefly about what we're going over with our clients. Obviously, you might be asking, what's my incentive? Well, some of you, a few of you down the road, might become clients of myself and my partner, Mark. If if it's a good match, if you meet our qualifications, a lot of you, might not, become clients. But I'm passionate about what I do, so I wanted to share this information with people that are on our video our email list, and also possibly in other areas. The stock market. One thing about the stock market, and you get a headache trying to figure out the stock market, but the stock market just doesn't like uncertainty. And sort of looking like maybe like a sea captain looking way down the road as far as some dark clouds. I do see some dark clouds down the road, possibly. Once again, I can't predict what's going to happen. But I'm concerned, as many people are, about several things. First of all, this COVID-19. How long is it going to last? The economic repercussions could last for years. When you talk about no Ohio State football or no state fair, quarter horse Congress, etc. The economic impact could last a long, long time. But is it going to get worse before it gets better? More and more people are being tested positive. A lot of those people are negative. But how long is it going to last? Are they going to get a vaccine? Looks like they are. Is it going to work? How long is it going to take to get it? Who's going to take it? So there's just a lot of uncertainty. It's something that we just don't know what the outcome's going to be and how long it's going to take. The other thing that concerns me, and I don't like to talk about politics or religion with anybody. It's off limits for me. But I'm not talking about Republican or Democrat. But the election concerns me. It could be a real problem in the sense that there's issues as far as how people vote and when they vote and this. And I can see, as many people do, there might be a lot of lawsuits flying all over the place. And worst case scenario, it could be way into 2021 before we know who the president is. So that's uncertainty I think the stock market's not going to like. And of course, you've got countries, outside the United States, of course, like China is really spreading their wings, and there's issues there. But these are things that our clients are concerned about. We work with people that are 10 years or less from retirement. Now, 10 years sounds like a long time. You could be 8 years, you could be 5 years, but 10 years, why we use that is because it sounds like a long time, but really it goes by pretty quick. Before I go on, let me mention too that our clients seem to be very concerned about these issues. The election, certainly COVID-19, China, all this stuff that's going on all this year, and really worried about the last quarter of 2020. Are these concerns you might have? Ask yourself that. And if it is, then maybe we should talk and just go over what your concerns are. A lot of people are prolonging their retirement. They're putting it off, obviously because of COVID-19. Some people will be downsized, unfortunately. It's going to take corporations a while to get back to 100% revenue where they were last year before last, etc. Easiest way to increase revenue is to decrease your employee base. We see it happening right now. But either way, if you're 10 years or less from retirement, you still need a plan. Don't forget about it because of COVID-19. As I said, 10 years can go by pretty quick. There's really excuse me, there's really three phases that you go through when you're planning for retirement. I equate it to climbing a mountain. The first phase is the accumulation phase, and this is the phase that a lot of you are in right now. Hopefully, you're putting money into your 401k, your IRAs, your 403bs, etc. So you're climbing up the mountain, putting aside money for retirement. The second phase is the distribution phase. You get to the top of the mountain, you're going to retire, but the thing is you still need an income, but you don't have that income coming in from the company. So that is what we call the distribution phase. You start taking money out of your nest egg to supplement your Social Security, possibly a pension if you have it. And this is where things can really start to unravel. The third phase is what we call the preservation phase. And a lot of times people go from the accumulation phase right to the distribution phase, and they forget about the preservation phase. We think that you need about 5 to 10 years of income set aside, not in the stock market and various other places, but not in the stock market, because this is where you're going to get your income from when you first start to retire, and you need that income. It's a critical time when you get to the top of that mountain. You say, hey, I need an income, but we need to have money set aside in what is called that preservation phase. Don't go right to from the accumulation phase to the distribution phase. We want that income for 5 to 10 years, based upon your situation, to come from an account that's not in the stock market. Now, I'm not talking about running and hiding with your money. There's 3 risks that you have to mitigate, or you should, in retirement. I'll mention those when I close this video up here. But you certainly have to have money working for you. But let's make sure you have money set aside where it's not in the stock market for those initial years of income, especially if we call it timing risk, if you pick the wrong year to retire. Look at those people that retired back in 2006, 7, they went right into 2008, or the people who retired back in 1999, they went into 2001 and 02, which was a 3-year bear market. You can't time when's the right time to retire as far as the stock market is concerned. What we do here at Retirement Wealth Strategies, and we've done it for 20 some odd years, my partner and I, our team here, is we've helped people plan for retirement, mitigate the risks that you will face in retirement, and we've taken people, our clients, through several bear markets. We've gone through that, so we've got some experience on our side. What we like to do with our clients, and this is what we're doing with our clients now that are getting ready to retire within this 5-year period, the stock market has come booming back up over 50%. We call it rebalancing. Harvest those gains. So what we would show you is you look at your accounts, and they're way up from March, obviously. What you need to do, we think, is take some of that money off the table, like a farmer. Harvest those gains, and let's look at what your income needs are going to be in retirement. Let's make sure we fund this preservation bucket so that you've got money set aside, so you get downsized or you decide to retire. That's where your income's going to come from. Excuse me. You're not taking money from the stock market when it's down. The stock market's very dependable over a long period of time, but you can't, once again, time your market. So let's harvest some of those gains. Now, there's no better time to do that than right now, because the market's come back so much from March. We don't know what the future holds here with, once again, COVID-19, the election, China, etc. If those are concerns, let's show you what you should be doing. Harvest those gains. I can't sit here and say that for the next several months the stock market's going to go up another 50%. No way. So let's take it. I'm not saying leave the stock market. Let's harvest some gains. What I offer is a free, what we call 30-minute retirement analysis. We talk on the phone. Most of the discussion is about your situation, what your concerns are, what your retirement plans are, what you want to do in retirement, etc. This is not a sales pitch call. That's not how we work. It's an opportunity to talk with you specifically about your situation and a little bit about the risks that we try to mitigate. There are 3 risks, by the way, that you should definitely mitigate in retirement. One is timing risk. We talked about that. Hey, you can't plan what the stock market's going to do when you retire. So that's timing risk. The second one is inflation risk. When inflation starts to heat up, which it could, is your money keeping ahead of inflation? Very, very important. How do we mitigate that? And the third risk is longevity risk. What if you live too long? Which we all are living longer, which is great news. But the bad news part about that is the fact that the money has to last a lot longer. So let's look at ways to mitigate those risks. You can go on our website and look at our sample plan, and everybody's different. We don't have any cookie cutter plan, but it shows you an example of how we mitigate these 3 risks. Not concerned, laying in bed at night worried about the stock market, what it did in March, etc. So, so that we can have a happy and successful retirement. So go ahead, you can right below there, you can push a button and set up this call. And I really look forward to talking with you. Thanks for listening.